From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network at Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for September 30th, 2016. I'm Sarah Singletary.
And I'm Seth Hawk. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University's public radio station is the neighbor to us here at TrojanVision. And Saturday, they will begin their annual fund drive to keep operations going over at WTSU. Troy University's radio station, WTSU, or as it is more commonly known, Troy Public Radio, is beginning its fund drive on Saturday for the fall semester.
Fund drive is a major portion of how we pay for programming here at the radio station and over 1,000 public radio stations across the country. You pay for things, you go to a CVS or a Walgreens and you pay for product right then. It's that model flipped on its head where a couple times a week, a couple times a year, kind of like 2.5 times a year, we ask you to support us. You've been listening to our programming. It's free. We have no way to charge you. And now we're asking you to pitch in for your favorite shows that you rely on every day.
Afternoon radio host Fred Fletcher Fierro says the fund drive helps in a major way by doing one thing: paying the bills.
We do get some money from the university, but a majority of the money that we pay to have programming on the air comes from listeners.
Donating helps not only the radio station, but helps the listener get a daily dose of Troy Public Radio programming.
People love the weekend programming, whether it's This American Life or Wait, Don't Tell Me or On Being. You're going to hear voices on public radio that you don't hear anywhere else. You're going to hear long-form journalism. You're going to hear the details of people's life. We have serious topics with all of our political coverage this year in news, and you're going to hear important discussions that are hard to find other places.
If you would like to donate to Troy Public Radio, you can call their number at 1-800-800-6616 or by going to troypublicradio.org. Seth Hawk, Troy TrojanVision News. Once again, to donate, you can call 1-800-800-6616 or go online to troypublicradio.org.
Last night, the Troy University Symphony filled Claudia Crosby Theater with music for their Masterworks concert. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
The Troy University Symphony Band held its Masterworks concert in Claudia Crosby Theater Thursday night. The concert featured works such as Profanation by Leonard Bernstein and Pulitzer Prize-winning Joseph Schwantner's Concerto for Percussion, which formed the basis for the show.
And that's a long work. It's about 25-30 minutes long, and it features Dr. Adam Blackstock, who's the Associate Professor of Percussion here in the John M. Long School of Music. And so he and I worked together on this. We've been planning this for about a year, so we collaborated on this, and then we built the rest of the program around that.
Walker said the concert allows the students in the symphony band to work better as a group.
They work really, really hard, and this concert is extremely important because this allows us to start working on our cohesiveness as an ensemble, and it's typically rough at first, because they haven't practiced together, and we're coming right out of marching band, but then it gels as we get closer to the concert and it comes together for the performance.
One graduate assistant expressed his satisfaction with the performance.
I think it went great, We all started and stopped together, and I think we made a good bit of music tonight.
And as for the audience, one student said how he felt about the performance as a whole.
The performance was amazing. They played wonderful pieces featuring Dr. Blackstock on the percussion and played lots of cool instruments and just a different approach from other symphony bands.
The next symphony band concert will be on November 13th. Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy TrojanVision News.
The next concert for the Symphony Band will feature the Dean of the College of Communication and Fine Arts, Dr. Larry Blocker, and students Marissa Stanfill and Rad Bolt. The central piece will be Paul Hindemith's Symphonic Metamorphosis. When most people think of martial arts, it conjures up images of punches, kicks, and hand-to-hand combat.
However, not all martial arts require the skills of Jackie Chan. There are some that are a little more relaxing. Kiwana Clark shows us one in that style that is being taught here at Troy.
Tai Chi is an ancient Chinese martial art form, and students, if you're looking for a way to reduce stress and relieve muscle aches, Tai Chi is the form for you.
Tai Chi is a Chinese ancient tradition, and now it is practiced as the exercise. It involves many manners and gestures. It performed very softly and slowly. Now what we learned is 24 forms of Tai Chi.
The art form not only taught students traditional movements and balance, but also patience within themselves.
We learned how to salute to teachers and other persons, and we also learned some preparation before Tai Chi, and others also how to practice the bow leg.
Student Shresh Rubin is originally from India, and he says Tai Chi is closely related to his culture.
I'm basically from India, where we know few martial arts and few medicinal practices, which is very similar to China, our neighbor. And I would like to improve my knowledge by knowing the Tai Chi.
And all it took was a simple email and curiosity in the martial art form for Chance Rowe to be interested.
I've always wanted to learn martial arts and self-defense practices, and when I got the email, it fit right into my schedule, so I'm here.
Tai Chi is held at 2 p.m. on Thursdays at the Confucius Institute. Kwana Clark, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The Tai Chi lessons are free and open to all Troy students, faculty, and staff. They're every Thursday at 2 p.m. in the Confucius Institute offices in Bib Graves Hall.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
Welcome back into the world of Trojan sports. I'm Jamal Kennedy. Now, let's start things up with the volleyball team. It hasn't been a perfect start to the season, but they are in conference play now and anything can happen. The Trojans look to dig themselves out of an 0-2 conference record, and they'll be in a Georgia state of mind trying to change their luck.
We go to Georgia State on Friday and Georgia Southern on Saturday. They both had similar weekends to us. Georgia State went 0-2, Georgia Southern went 1-1, and we've traditionally struggled at both of those places. So to go on the road, we're going to have to play at our optimum to be able to try to at worst split. And I think with what we're doing this week in practice, I think we'll really get a benefit out of everything that we've changed.
As you heard, Senator Kirkpatrick's team will first look to tame the Panthers of Georgia State at 5 p.m. tonight before taking on the Eagles of Georgia Southern Saturday at 5:30. And the cross-country team just keeps running and running and running. But really, the team will be on the trails in a familiar place this weekend where they started their season, as a matter of fact, back in Oxford, Alabama.
Jacksonville State is having a foothills race up there in Oxford, and we'll see some top teams in the region. Georgia Tech will be there, Oldham to be there. I think there's some conference pros that could show up as well. We'll go with our heavy hitters, who I think is going to be in the top 5 or 6 in my mind, and then we'll go and mix it up with them and see where we're at.
With just over a month out from conference championships, you could call this the home stretch for Coach Brown and his squad, but they will be running in Oxford, Alabama on Saturday. And now for the football team's preview matchup against Idaho. Last night we heard from Coach Brown, who gave a heads-up preview of what to look for from Idaho, but he didn't talk about how his guys have prepared this week and what's on their minds. Quite frankly, only the guys that put on the helmets and shoulder pads can really tell you what they're going into tomorrow's matchup focusing on. Only they can tell you how they prepared this week to ensure they don't meet another 19-16 defeat. So here they are. All week, that had to be the play playing on the minds of the Trojans that were present in last year's loss to Idaho. But this year's a new year, and the Trojans are still looking for redemption.
We overlooked those guys last year, and it's just one to remember. And we remember that from last year, and that was on homecoming. So, that's the one we really got to bow our necks up and play.
Well, it was tough losing the homecoming. But they came in last year and just completely outplayed us in all aspects of the game. So this year we'll probably go in with more attention to detail. Just the simple things that we didn't do last year that'll get us the victory this year.
So how exactly do the Trojans just stick to the game plan and do the little things? Well, it comes from having trust and, of course, preparation.
Really just listen to the coaches. Everything they said is right. So everybody just got to follow the plan, and we'll keep moving forward after that.
Just staying level-headed, not to get big-headed. Go through everything you do every week, the same thing as you started with.
But even with the mental preparation on the field, there are still some Trojans who have never flown before, and they are crossing time zones. So how do the players prepare for flight?
It may be a lot of first travelers on the plane, so I'm not sure how they'll take that. But I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. The coaches do a very good job throughout the week of getting us prepared for every single game. So we'll just do as they ask, and I'm pretty sure everything will be okay.
The Trojans are out in Moscow, Idaho currently after flying in yesterday, and they're hoping to leave with more than just their fair share of potatoes. Tomorrow's rematch with Idaho will take place at 4 p.m. in the Kibbie Dome.